Kojiro, the Wandering Swordmaster. Alright guys, new SSR just dropped today. So the last of the trio that just dropped, which is kind of weird. Everybody else was a copy unit, this one wasn't. Did they release the counter to the problem? We'll see. Or could this be the power creep creeping back in? Alright, so Kojiro, right? So we'll do a pull, see if we get lucky. Nothing. Alright, cool. So we'll just hop right into her skill set. What does she have? She has okay HP. She does look like she's pretty strong. Like the attack wise, it's okay actually. Speed, she's kind of average, I guess. So she's not gonna be too fast getting those starting turns like Storm King Arthur, things like that. But she does seem like she has a lot of sustainability and surviving power. So she'll at least probably get a turn, right? So let's start off with it. Clean Strike. This is her first attack. Times 1, 600% damage, and immediately gets the next turn if it's her first time using this skill or Sakura Storm since this skill was last used. Ignores damage reduction, skin passives, counter stances, that kind of whole shebang. All right, so Sakura Storm, let's hop into that. Also, let's see, Clean Strike, it was only 100% damage, and you only get the 600% if you meet the other conditions. So that's a conditional attack increase. Sakura Storm, all right, 300%, 200% damage to all enemies. Okay, plus 100 for each charge stored on the user. So damage looks like it scales based off number of charges she has, and this is also considered her execute skill, right? So it's gonna ignore non-boss enemies. Kind of low attacks, right? Like damage output wise, unless like you meet certain conditions. But even then, the second one's only 500. Healing Blossom is a full heal and purifies them, not just the user. Why didn't it just say the user? But okay, so it's a full heal and purifies. It also lets her gain a sleep, stun, poison, and an endure. This does lock for 50 TU. However, it also locks again for like another 400 TU if she's gotten a kill. So it's gonna lock for 50 TU, and then it's gonna lock for 100 TU if she kills somebody. Now let's move on to the skill that is kind of crazy, right? So Swallow's Flight, right? It's 50 TU. So this immediately destroys any enemy that's non-boss that has survived for 200 TU or more. It ignores most enemy effects also, right? So like passives, skin passives, revenge passives, all that good stuff. Cannot be redirected by guards. Consumes 2 charges, only usable 3 times per battle. So that is kind of like a condition also. She has a lot of conditions. But she does seem like she can place well in most team comps. However, not too sure about burn though. Don't think she's gonna do too great in there because she doesn't have a burn immunity, or you know what I mean. Burn ward. God dang it. Anyways, so moving on to Legendary Resolve. She will enter. So she does kind of have like an entry effect right here. She'll enter with poison, sleep, stun, and endure, and counter stance for 300 TU. She also has 80%, god dang, 80% damage reduction, which goes down to 50% eventually because every time she gets a kill, it decreases by 10%. This is up to the third enemy. So then after her third kill, she'll go right down to 50%. Now that's kind of like her entry effect, right? So now her normal effects are whenever she defeats a non-conjured enemy. Now remember that, a non-conjured enemy. What have we been having these last couple summons, right? Like just copy units. We got Odin's Ravens about. We got all these other non-conjured people running around on the battlefield, right? She gains a charge and recovery miss for 100 TU. She also purifies all allies and gives a turn to another ally. So right now she does look like she has all the necessary components. I don't see like a Hold Ground Plus or something like that, but she does have an endure, and she also has a lot of survivability in her kit, at least until she gets like a certain amount of kills, right? So that's where like the damage reduction and stuff like that comes in. But anyway, moving on to the 4th skill, Killer, Focus, and Killer Indeed, right? So you cannot be sent back to reinforcements. So that kind of helps like with the pushback units, Tristan, all that good stuff that's coming around. Cannot be stunned until she kills an enemy. So she does have some stun immunity in her. So maybe she can work on a burn team. But then again, once she gets a kill, then she won't be that effective, right? However, I do see this being an issue for burn team because she does have that stun immunity until she gets a kill. So what if she targets Lucifer? And every time she fucking targets Lucifer, right? So then poof, there goes your burn team, right? Without Lucifer, burn teams are nothing. This passive also provides a quicken effect, right? And it stacks up to 75%. God dang. This scales off of how many enemies she's defeated up to a max of 3. And then each time she takes damage from an attack, she heals for 30% and also gains a counter stance for 300 TU. So this skill is actually really good. She's gonna be fast as heck, man. Like skill wise, right? So after each kill, it increases. But so that's kind of like a trade-off, right? She gets faster with the skills, but then she also loses her damage reduction, so she's not gonna be absorbing as many hits, and she's gonna be easier to kill, take off the field. So she seems like she's gonna kind of go in hard, right, at the start of the battle, and then she's gonna kind of tamper down. I do like her. I do like this unit. This unit seems like she has the potential to be kind of OP, right? But just breaking down everything, doing a deep dive. I was talking to some of my guildmates, stuff like that, and her damage output might not be what you expect, right? Because she's only gonna hit most times between like 50 to 200% damage unless she like meets certain conditions, and then she'll go up to like 500%. It's only a max of 500. It doesn't say 600, nothing like that. However, she can immediately destroy enemies, right? So that's kind of like a throwback to the original King Arthur when she first came out. Man, I was like, this is crazy. What is the game doing? We're just taking units off the field with nothing. So, but there's conditions for that too, but not really. That's more of a time-based thing, right? So she does look really good. Pros and cons. Let's see. Let's look at them. On paper, right? On paper, she looks like a very versatile unit. She can start in any position. She's not limited to just starting in your first platoon. She has an entry effect, so that's kind of like great for that longevity, and she can kind of clean up units. If you're having a hard time beating someone's first plat, she can just come in second. Lots of sustainability, lots of survivability, I guess. She's going to be hard to kill, at least fast, right? You're not going to take her off the field anytime soon, like in those first 200 TUs, time units. She has team support, she purifies, she also has a good turn. She has a lot of stuff that makes her look very appealing. And also, the swallow skill, right? So, if she targets Lucifer, like I was saying back with the burn teams, then there goes burn, right? So if she goes out, it depends on her AI, who she's targeting, but she could also be targeting all the copy units. She could be targeting non-conjured units. So did they release the counter to this unit prior to releasing her? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But on the other hand, let's play devil advocate real quick. Copy units, they normally come off the field like either when they first start or at least eventually, right? So they're not going to be the highest TU, so they won't be targeted 9 times out of 10 because you have to be on the field for so long for her to just lead you. And honestly, kind of having 2 execute skills and like just immediate deletion, that's kind of her selling point. However, if she's targeting your top DPS units like Cthulhu, Storm King Arthur, Lucifer, and all the other terrors of the world, then you create a snowball effect, basically, right? Because you make and break your team in your plat 1, right? So if she can just destroy your DPS units, get them out of the way, then you're done. It's gonna snowball, you're gonna lose. She has 2 damaging attacks, but like I was saying, like they're gonna range from 50 to 200% damage unless certain conditions are met. So I can see her being really good, but I can also see her being not that great. It really depends on her AI. Depends on like who she's picking, who she's targeting, and it depends on what she does on the field. That's where testing is gonna come in. And honestly, guys, I don't know if I'm gonna be testing her because it just depends, guys. So hopefully you guys are liking the videos, liking the reviews. Time will tell, but you know, Evertale is kind of a closing chapter for me, right? So I've been doing this for so long, and I'm running out of motivation, really. I'll try to leave you guys with some really good stuff, though. I'm already working like on a min-max video. I'll probably do like a team building comp video or something like that, and like experimental plats. yeah, guys. But hey, enjoy me while you can, right? Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And maybe I'll stick around a little longer. But yeah, man, it's that time. I'm the guy out.